RC family, welcome to another episode of the RC Lounge podcast with your host EKJ 24,000. Hey man, I hope y'all had an awesome Friday. Mine was well, been a long week though, hot, smoking hot. Oh my god, but it's been a good week overall. Been a good week. Hope y'all had a good week too. Um, but yeah, again, hope y'all had an awesome week this week, and I hope everything's been going well for everyone, for my RC family. And again, tonight we got an awesome guest in the lounge tonight. This guy, young whippersnapper, he back there right now eating up all my chocolate chip ahoy cookies. He eating up all my cheddar cheese popcorn. He back there just kill. He a hard worker, so I let him slide this time. But he gonna have to leave a little tip on the table back there in the green room. Eating up all my biddles and stuff back there. But yeah, man, a young man that I originally we supposed to have done this interview man some months ago, and things got kind of confused and turned upside down, stirred up a whole lot of stuff, and so I just told him we gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So because the fact of I tried to set this up and nobody really said anything other than this awesome young man right here. He stepped up and spoke up, and he was the only one really that spoke up. So that's why, things kind of was misunderstood. But he did the right thing because he represent an awesome group, RC3 Raceway up there in Huntsville. He represent that track up there. It's his home track, and he was the only one that really spoke up when I wanted to do an interview with RC3. But it's all good, no problem. We got everything situated, and it was just a simple misunderstanding just with who was over what. Kind of find out the track is more of a club. It's really not just one person over it. It's just a conglomeration of all the racers just supporting the track and doing what needs to be done up there. And it's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing up there. Awesome track they got. Awesome atmosphere. How they got everything set up. Everybody's equal. So, but like I said, I told him that we was gonna do this and just get his input on how RC is, how racing is, and how he's adapting to being a new racer and just getting used to just racing and just the whole 9 yards. And I just want to just chop it up with him tonight and just pick his brain on how things we maybe can do better as racers, as bashers, as inviting people into the hobby. Just getting new racers used to, getting on the track, having the right supplies, all that. So we're just gonna talk about all that tonight. Like I said, I just want to welcome my partner Zack Swader in to the lounge. Let me bring my boy back up in here, okay? Bring them on in. Bring them on in. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. The superstar is here. The superstar is in the building. Our boy Zack. Hey man, how you
What's
day?
up?
How your day went today, Zack? What's going on?
Aside from a busy day at work, not too bad here. Finally getting a chance to come up on your in the lounge here in your podcast after I'd say it was a couple months. We tried to do this once before, but as you said in the intro, it was kind of a miscommunication of how things went. But we hear it now. Be ready to talk some RC and just enjoy the night, man. I'm ready. I'm
This,
ready to go
this,
with this.
this it, man. Like I said, man, just be fun for you to get to know me and me get to know you, and just talk about the new beginnings of an awesome opportunity that you um just just came into. Maybe you can talk about that more often. We're gonna get into that a little bit later on. And but yeah, man, just welcome to the RC Lounge, man. Again, my name is Corey Jordan. They call me EKJ 24,000 on YouTube. Man, I've been at this, doing this, really doing YouTube for about 3 or 4 years now, and still learning, and
Oh yeah.
still growing, and still trying to get out there. And like I say, it's been going good. It done brought a whole lot of opportunities for me, and just on this media side, and it has opened a lot of doors up to you know um like working with Reds Racing and stuff like that. And it's just been real good, bro. And I just say that to tell you to keep at it. I know sometimes racing get frustrated, but
Yep.
you keep at it for the long run and just continue to work, continue to be a legit good young man. Like you seen, you are outspoken. You know how to articulate yourself. You know how to express yourself and stuff like that. You
Right.
work hard, so it's going. This just the beginning, man. It's gonna be more opportunities for you.
Oh,
And
definitely.
but yeah, man, just stick at it and just continue to ask questions and stuff like that. That's what we all are here for. And again, man, I'm honored to have you on here, and I appreciate your time. But yeah, man, like I said, I just wanted to just tell everybody your name again and where you from, Zach.
So I'm Zach. My last name is Swader. So you actually almost got it correctly. As a
Swader.
matter of fact, it's kind of a funny story about that. I know when telemarketers call me when they pronounce my last name wrong. So you know it's a telemarketer when they automatically get it wrong. But yeah, I'm up here, North Alabama in the Morgan County area.
Okay.
Recently, just got into RC3 in the club about late last year. We went up to one of their last club races about in September, October. I can't remember the exact date.
Mm-hmm.
But got involved in that, and then next thing you know, I went from having just to start out with, I ended up having a Traxxas Rustler Stadium truck, and just to get my feet back in. But now I've got associated T6.2. I've got a B6 behind me, and you probably have seen some of the media. I just finished. Just waiting on a few bits and pieces left over, but I just finished an RC8 4.1 e-buggy. So I'm going to be
Yeah.
getting into the 1/8 e-buggy scene. So I'm excited for that because I'm going to try to tackle hopefully get the chance to do the Alabama Manufacturer Shootout in November. Probably going to be the
Okay.
biggest challenge I've got, I think, so far, but learning experience. But yeah, just club racing here in general. I got exposed into the RC world back when I was like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
This was like 20 something years ago. And to tell you how long ago that is, Associated had the B3 back
B3.
in the day, the B3, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what my dad had. So to expose me,
Yeah.
he took a B3 kit and converted it to a stadium truck. And I still got the body to this day. And I might actually have to show you a picture of it in the group, but it's got a few little cut slots in it for the
Right.
truck body so it can mount on the buggy because it was a converted B3 and he
Right.
just added the extensions, the places for the hood pins and all like for the all that.
Uh
So
huh.
it was a conversion and that was my exposure like to start out with. And that was like 20 something years ago. And here we are now.
Okay.
I'm almost 30 in October and I'm back at it again full blast. I've had the opportunity, as you was probably mentioning in the intro, to join up with TTR. I feel
Yeah.
honored that you have, brought me on board with that because quite a few of the people in the group say sportsmen like us is what keeps the hobby alive. You got pro guys out here that
Right.
does it for the money and stuff like that. And to me, I think RC racing, what really impresses me is
Uh-huh.
having that sportsman mentality. And it's like, if you like are having trouble with something, or if you're at the track and something breaks, there's
Right.
probably so many guys around you that are willing to literally grab parts out of their pit box if it's something that you don't have on hand, and
Right.
they'll even help you install it. And I like the sportsmanship. I like the camaraderie, which is something that a lot of sports nowadays, especially with, you got parents, putting their kids through baseball, t-ball,
Baseball.
football,
Mm-hmm.
and you see these parents are arguing with each other about, their kids are better. There's this, RC racing is nothing like that. It's sportsmanship.
Right.
The camaraderie is there, and
Right.
that's what impresses me the most. It's just people just coming together, racing cars, and just having fun with it.
Man, that's what it's all about, man. And that's kind of what drew me in. And because like I say, my first RC car was the really RC race grade car was the HB Truggy. But
Hmm.
before that, it was my first basher car was the HPI MT Racer. It was like a 4-wheel drive 10
Hmm.
scale truck. And in actuality, there was a kit, and I had to learn how to put that together, and went through the ups and downs, and having to take it apart, do it again, because the guy was helping me at that time. He worked up there in the Hobby Town at this time. Back
Hmm.
then was up in Auburn, Alabama, and
Right.
he was a technician in there. Man, I took my truck in there. He was like, "Cool, you got." I thought I was through, Zach. You know what I'm saying? I'm all hyped up, ready to play, and ready to get it going.
Oh,
Cause it was a nitro truck too, so I was
yeah.
like, man, I'm about to break it in. He was like,
You far away from that, man.
you you got a long way,
You got a
you got a
long way to
long
go
way to
breaking that
go,
sucker in.
right? And then, like you said, you got a long way to go, and then you gotta go on reverse core. You gotta rewind some stuff. You gotta go back and
Ooh.
unbuild and build back. But he was real patient with me, man, and
Yep.
he got me straight where I needed to be. Got the car just right, and we finally got to the point where I can go and break the engine in and stuff like that. And he just guided me all the way through, man. You know what I'm saying? Kind of more
Oh
like
yeah.
a mentor. You know what I'm saying? And make sure
Yeah.
everything was straight, and anything I needed, he was like, "Just call me, I got you." You know what I'm saying? And he took me to some. He raced he raced mostly on road
Hmm.
sedan. He took me to some of the races that he raced in, and it was just like I said, just like you. It was just a learning process. How everybody kind of come together when you really need something, it's just a great hobby. Like I said before, before I got into the RC thing, I played football coming up in high school all the
Hmm.
way up to college, and got a scholarship to play down at Alabama State, and play a little bit of college ball too. So I'm just used to being a competitive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
definitely.
and that's how I got off into racing, just competing in that, and still being able to. Because when I got done playing ball, man, I was kind of like in a position where I was like, man, no, what else
What
I'm
do I
gonna
do
do
now?
now?
What's something to do?
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Other than
exactly.
just working and coming back home, I'm like,
Yeah.
because I did that when I first really got into the workforce and stuff like that after playing ball, and I was like going to work, coming back, then what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
I had to find me something else to do, and I got off into RC, bro, and got off into bashing a little bit at first, and then um, actually worked at a hobby shop up there in Birmingham. It was another
Hmm.
hobby town over there by beside the Galleria, and another guy in there named
Yeah.
Alan Burton. He was real famous and popular around here in Alabama because he was a local guy that actually he did like the nationals that just was over with. You know what I'm saying? Just got
Hmm.
done last week. He did nationals. He went over to DNC. He went overseas. He was just real good, and he actually took me to a national race up there in North Carolina,
Hmm.
and really exposed me to RC racing. So that's how I pretty much got into racing. So who really? You said your dad kind of led you into it, and
Hmm.
did y'all really, did y'all was just bashing at that point, or did y'all really
We
get into racing?
we when I was a kid, we was actually there used to be a club down years ago in Coleman, Alabama, ran by RC shop. It was I want to say the name of the hobby shop was Pyramid Hobbies, if that rings a bell to
I
anybody.
think, I think
Um,
so. Yeah.
I forget his last name, but the guy that owned the shop, Sid, he had a track literally this was in Coleman County, in downtown, almost downtown Coleman, and he had a track. It was compared to what we have today with some of these big outdoor facilities. This thing was like a mini Z track compared to what we have now. Like you go off to like where some of the guys that we know are off at Saratoga racing over there with the Saratoga Flowwood, and then you got RC3 and Shark and places like that. This was small, like very small.
Yeah,
but
I think I know what you're talking about. Was the track right behind the shop?
It was like right beside the shop. Like you had like, so you go in like the hobby, if I can remember correctly, because this was like 20 something years ago, and I was like 8 years old, so my memory's like then growing old, man. I'm almost 30, so but you come out of the shop and you hang a left, and literally just a few steps there's the track. And so it was like in this little fenced off area, and it was a split between a couple buildings and stuff like that. So it had to be a very compact shop, because it was like, here's the hobby shop, here's the track, and then here's another storefront, But that was how I got exposed. And so it was some competition racing. And then after that club kind of went, down a little bit, we bashed a little bit. I had a E-Max back at the time. I had like OG E-Max and then an OG T-Max. And then speaking of HPI, my dad used to own a HPI Savage back in the day, an old nitro truck. So, we still bashed a little bit, but then after, that kind of died off, we just wasn't in the hobby until recently, late last year. He ended up buying Devin Bear. He ended up buying his old B6.3. And so he told me he just bought that. I'm just like, great. You're gonna have to make me buy it, so that way me and him can since my mom passed away back in 2021 from cancer, and so me and him, we've been. I appreciate it. Me and him, I mean, we still had a relationship, but it wasn't the same, because me and him there were some moments where me and him were kind of butting heads about things, and me and him. And so when he told me that, I'm just like, well, you know what, let's make something out of this. So I ended up originally buying that Rustler. And then after I kind of figured out how Traxxas doesn't really have good competition vehicles, they're more side for like bashers and, their boats and all that. But I went out and I got off of Facebook Marketplace my T6.2, and then I've slapped a whole bunch of high-end electronics in that one. And so me and him has been, since then, we've been going crazy with it. So now he's got a B7 4.2 wheeler. I've been building up the e-buggy, and then so it's just been, we've bonded, I think, more in the past year and a half than we had in the past. I mean, and not saying we never did have a relationship after my mom died. It was just in that lull to where it was just like, well. New changes in life,
needed something
for us to do. Exactly. So, and I think that's what really helped was him buying that buggy off of Devin, and it just sparked everything, and just, it's really helped us. And he's enjoyed. I remember back in the TTR, the Tiny Trophy race, it was RC3's season opener. He was actually impressed with how little, like, I mean, I'd still make a few mistakes into the piping here and there, but he was impressed by how, I drove, basically getting used to everything, because he's used to the B3, the rear motor cars. And so he's having a trouble, like, adapting to these midships that, we got companies making nowadays. But I remember the Shark season opener, I ended up getting podium on the stadium truck.
Okay.
And he was watching that on Live RC, because he wasn't able to attend that race. And he was watching. He was like, "Man, I knew you would eventually get on the podium before me, but it's like a dad thing. You don't know how proud I am." So just seeing that from your dad, saying how proud they are of you, even just as an accomplishment like that, it sparks something in you. It sparks something in you. So yeah, it's been one heck of a journey ever since then.
Okay. So what? You said your dad got the B7 right now. Both of y'all have the B7. Or?
So he ended up the old the B6.3. He ended up buying off of Devin Bear, and so we haven't touched the B7s. Probably in no plans to. I think I'm going to be focusing more on the 8 scale side of things. I think come next year I'm going to be running an e-buggy and full nitro, so that way everything's 8 scale. I got all matching parts, so if something breaks, I gotta try to figure out like, okay, so I gotta split funds on 1/10 scale, and then stadium truck buggy, and then I got my 8 scale stuff. So I think next year I'm just going to focus on e-buggy and nitro, just stay in 1/8 scale, because I think that's where North Alabama kind of has a tricky spot for 10th scale at the moment because uh, if you kind of paid attention to RC3 schedule, it was kind of unfortunate circumstances with the weather, with that
Weather.
Alabama spring weather. There was like
Right.
3 or 4 weeks in a row that we couldn't race because of weather, the
Rain.
rainfalls.
Yep.
And a lot of these outdoor tracks, you just can't do nothing with that clay.
Yeah.
It takes days, and especially when it's early spring, you don't get the hot temperatures like we're dealing with now. We're like
No.
100+ degree, temps, and it don't take that long for that track to dry up. Yeah. So now it's just 1/10 scale is kind of in a tricky spot up in North Alabama. I know there's a few indoor facilities down south toward Mobile, but
Yeah, it's
one
more
one
Mobile.
one one tenth and 1/10 scale out in North Alabama is kind of rough. So I think that's another reason I want to kind of go 8 scale, because I could go to if I want to, I can travel out of state, like to Saratoga. There's a couple spots in Georgia I'd like to go to. So just even something to do is just to travel to some of these other places.
And yeah, you're right there, and you're right. An hour away from Tennessee, you know what I'm saying? And I think they got some 10 scale stuff, indoor carpet stuff up that way. And also they had, the rock. I don't know how far it's the rock raceway from you, but
I've heard of it. I don't know exact location, but I've heard definitely multiple times.
But yeah, it's you got some tracks by you now. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get out and spread your wings a little bit, that'll be good for you to come on down here to Georgia and going over there to also down to Florida, the BNT. That's not too far. And like I said, it's another. I got some tracks down in Mobile. And just over there to Shark. It's a good competition over there with Chia Wheel over there at the Shark over there in Muscle Shoals. So yeah, brother. So what classes do you run? Start with your 10 scale stuff. What you got?
So 10 scale, I'm mostly stadium truck and two-wheel drive buggy. I've got the T6.2 stadium truck, and then I got the B6.3 two-wheel drive buggy, and so that's mainly what I run on 10 scale. I know when Shark has their Shark Attack, and then RC3 has the challenge coming up in August. I told my dad, I said, "Hey, I'm going to confiscate your wheeler so that way I've got multiple classes, because that's hardware races, man. I want to try to go for some of that hardware, So that'll give me like four classes, including my e-buggy. So just go out there and just race and have some fun, man. Just go out there and just see what I can do. But yeah, mostly just the stadium truck and two-wheel drive in 10th scale, and then I've got the associated RCA 4.1. I just finished up for 1/8 e-buggy. So I'll be kind of get my feet wet with e-buggies and see how the competition is on that, which, I've seen some of the guys. You got guys like Jeremy Reed and Randy Inger that are the two guys that are eight scale specialists, because I believe they're associated drivers, from the local area. So, they got some competition. There's also some guys from the club that are pretty fast in 8 scale buggies. So, it's definitely something I can watch and kind of feed off of and kind of learn how they handle it too. So I can't wait to see how they do.
That's it, man. And like I said, don't be afraid of nothing, man. And don't be afraid to ask about any kind of question, especially in the 8 scale, because all those guys good. Reed, he's real good. Actually, Reed, he used to do. I think he still may do like kit bills and stuff like that. So he got a lot of knowledge on just how to keep stuff together, how to keep your buggy fresh, and how to keep it running good. Randy Inger, he's both good at 8 scale, 10 scale, and 8 scale. So and he's raced overseas. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a bunch of knowledge up there, man. And ask him. And then you got Devin over there. He's been all over, especially the Southeast racing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. And Cameron and all them guys, they be all over. So you in a good spot. You're in a good spot. Just learn everything and keep you going and everything like that. So yeah. So how did you come about finding about RC3? How did you find a track?
So I don't know exactly how. Obviously, it was my dad that ended up finding me. He was telling me about the club up there, and so that's when we decided to check it out. It was late September, October. They had their final club race, so we went up there, checked it out, and did their last club race. And so, they're a good bunch of guys. Dan Barnes, president, he runs things, and he's such a chill guy, and all the guys that are the officers, and they definitely got their work cut out for them, but they do the job pretty well. There's it's hard to find clubs nowadays, especially in this day and time with society as it is. And I don't mean to get political on podcasts and whatnot, but just today's society in general, it's
Right.
kind of hard to find decent people and actually who want to,
Mm-hmm.
help keep things, going because RC it's on and off from time to time. And you've got, clubs that'll last for years, and then you got clubs that will only last for like maybe a year and a half, maybe two, because people get so burnt out easily, and that's how
Right.
tracks die.
Uh-huh.
That's the biggest thing that I hate is just seeing tracks die off that are such good tracks and belong to such amazing clubs, but it died because of issues that happened or just people got burnt down on it because of, you know, people taking it too seriously or just disagreements or attitudes come in. And it's just,
Right.
that's the only thing I don't like about the hobby in general is just people
Mm-hmm.
coming in thinking they're the big thing, and next thing you know, it just makes things not fun for anyone. That's not,
Right.
to me, that just takes away from the fun of it. That's not what RC is about. It's like I said at the start, it's all about the sportsmanship and camaraderie that you get out of the hobby that makes it unique to anything else that you could be doing. And so it's
Okay.
just when you see people coming in that think they're the next, Spencer Rivkin or
Right.
guys like that think they're the
Exactly.
biggest thing, it's just
Mm-hmm.
there's just no
Heartbreaking.
room for that. Yeah.
Right, bro. So what you thought? Okay, far as you, as you just coming in new, you and your pops. I mean,
Mhm.
he probably been around it, you know what I'm saying, a lot more. But you coming in, what really made you kind of really stick to like RC3? What really grabbed you? What really wanted you really made you wanting to be a part of the other group? You know what I'm saying? Other track and everything. What really drew you in?
Mostly because of how close it is to where I live. It's not
Mm-hmm.
often as you can be able to get a good club that's like
Yeah,
30 minute,
to the club.
45,
Yeah.
40-minute drive to from where you live. And so
Right.
Shark is an hour away from me. So it's kind of hard for me to make trips, especially on Saturdays where where I work. I've got like some weekends I'll end up going in Friday night and we'll get off to like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And so having to make that
Yeah.
hour trip over to Muscle Souls over where Shark is, it's kind of, and then you over there with no sleep. And so it's kind of rough, but
Rough.
it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's, it's easier on me with RC3. I can kind of do that, but
Right.
just how close it is and just a good bunch of guys, we're all the time talking about stuff and they're willing to
Right.
help people as well that need help
I
with it. I
got
know
you.
there was one guy that was, having trouble with trying to get this weird noise out of his buggy, and everybody was coming in giving him tips on what he can be able to do to check this and check that and make sure everything was fine. And so it's just
Right.
they're approachable, they're knowledgeable, and they're just there to have fun. That's all that matters.
Awesome. 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 Okay. Far as like you've been in it for about a couple of years now, and you kind of used to how things go. And what do you think, far as us as racers?
Hmm.
What kind of what kind of attitude you think that we have to have to not just bring people into the hobby or bring people to the track, but also to help sustain them, like help them stick with it. You know what I'm saying? What kind of proper attitude you think we ought to have as racers, far as helping new people?
I think the biggest thing and this is me because I still learn stuff every day. There's a lot of questions that I ask. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing, if you're somebody that's been in the hobby for 30 plus years, and
Yeah.
you can probably take and have a kit literally in front of you and have it built within 3, 4 hours max, if that.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is patience because everybody's going to learn different. Everybody's going to have, may take a couple times for them to actually get a grasp of how you put the A arm on, or this is
Right.
how you tune a nitro motor. Everybody's going to be learning different paces.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if somebody comes in at a new job, they're not going to be able to catch on like real quick to how you operate this machine or you do this.
Right.
Everybody's got their own learning spec, and I
On
think
what? Mm-hmm.
patience is the biggest thing because you got people. You'll have so many people coming in to asking you questions, and I'm pretty sure you're just wanting to, sometimes it can be overwhelming, but if you can be patient and
Mm-hmm.
show that openness to be able to be approachable, to be able to help or answer some of these questions that people could want to come into the hobby. It's like I
Right.
remember a couple weeks ago, one of the RC3 points races. I had some
Mm-hmm.
people that I guess were just coming in and out of the hobby shop that were asking about what's the best car to get into new for the hobby. I
Yeah.
recommend, okay, so if you go in and buy a spec slash and you show the officers the receipt, your entry is free because
Yeah.
that's the way RC3 is. You buy a spec slash, your entry fee is,
It's
good
free.
to go. It's covered. So
Okay. That's good.
spec slash, stuff like that. And then they were asking me, well, how much does this cost and this cost? And I told them, I was like, well, these two cars right here, they're expensive because they're competition racers. They're meant to go fast. Where if you really don't want to put that much money into it, go buy spec slash and do this. There's
Right.
just you're gonna get asked a lot of questions, and because people
Right.
are curious, they want to know how things work. And I think that's just the approachness, being approachable and being very patient. I think is the biggest thing I think somebody can have in the industry. People want to come in
Yeah.
and get into the hobby that's new, because even I'm still new, but it's just I like how being able to go up to somebody just like, hey, can you help me with this setup or stuff like that. That's the key, the biggest thing is I just think a lot of patience.
Okay. 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 And on the flip side of that, bro, what's the thing that we have to change? We have to get rid of to not run people away, or you know what I'm saying, to put that negative stain, you know, on them to push them away. What's the thing as racers, bashers or whatever? What's the thing that we really need to stop doing to quit pushing people away from the hobby, away from racing? What you think?
To me, I think the biggest thing is kind of like what I said earlier about people thinking they're the next big thing. They got all these attitudes coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest thing is to just, if, say, for instance, me and this one and Dan, actually, we were racing hard on one of the heat races a couple of weeks ago in RC3, and me and him were, we were close, and there was a few times we bumped like that, but we didn't take it seriously. I
Right.
think people take it too seriously, and you get caught up in a bump, or somebody took a turn wrong, or you start yelling at a marshal because they don't get your car quick enough and stuff like that. I think it's and I know a lot of it is competition. Where
Right.
all of us are like 30-something-year-old men that we got that testosterone in us, man. There's gonna be some sparks fly every now and then. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, we calm down, we talk about it, and there you go. And I think that's
There
the
you
thing
go.
that I think
That's the thing.
really
Mm-hmm.
really needs to be looked into more, is just, this is just toy cars in a way. We're just out here having fun, getting together. And I think when you see people coming in trying to take it seriously, because and especially if they got all the sponsorship money and they're bragging about that, it's like, I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for my tires. Well, I've spent like, probably, I'm gonna say, shoot a rough number, maybe, I know at least 3,000 A main, because I'm
Right.
all the way up to their platinum membership level, like their rewards points. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm in that, but it's still, I mean, half of us, some of us don't get that privilege. I mean, trust
You
me. I
right.
mean, I'm working with you guys with TTR, and I know some of y'all are trying to help me get some sponsorship to kind of ease on the cost, because this hobby can be expensive.
It
I've
can.
because I obviously I've got like 700 on the RC8 kit, and at least $400 plus worth of Phantom equipment that I bought out of pocket, in my
Right.
e-buggy. So
Right. And you still got to
it
put
it,
tires
it
on all
can.
those and all
Well,
that, you
I
know.
literally, before this podcast, I literally went to RC3 because they're having their Friday Night Lights race, and one of the guys was selling a,
Okay.
a, a box of like 8 sets of e-buggy tires for like $50, and that's going to help me at least get everything dialed in before I order
Right.
new
There
new
you go.
new treads and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
literally just whatever you can to to help cut down on the cost. But you know,
Most definitely. Yeah.
some of these guys, of course they got sponsors, and hats off to them. If you got people like J Concepts associated that think you're good enough to put sponsorship for, man, hats off to you. But
Mm-hmm.
don't act like you're the biggest thing because you got that sponsorship. I think egos can kind of get a little too far in some cases, and I think when people
Yeah.
see that, it kind of pushes people away. They're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that kind of attitude. I just want to come up here and just have fun.
Have fun.
So
That's
egos, I
it.
think, need to be in check, and just continue
Right.
with that camaraderie and the sportsmanship.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, brother. And yeah, and like I say, man, as far as like us growing the hobby, and as far as us doing more in the community, what do you think about tracks, um like maybe putting flyers out just for the
Hmm.
immediate community can know, what's going on, and maybe they can help, help, support the track also if they
Yeah.
just only knew, what was just right there in the
Hmm.
vicinity. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
do you think we could advertise more as a just as a track or as a like a race, just say like Psycho Nitro Blast. That's kind of a big race,
Hmm.
but could we advertise more to just get a bigger draw from the immediate community to help support the races and stuff like that? What you feel about that?
Oh, 100%. We're living in a day and time where everybody has an iPhone, a Samsung. We're in the technology age. And even not just on social media, like on Facebook and places like that, but even, yeah, flyers will still even do the trick because people, if you can have something that looks good, people catch your attention and somebody's going to stand there, and read the
Mm-hmm.
flyer. And so, oh, 100% definitely. And I think that would even help with the cases of some of these clubs and tracks dying out because of either burnt out or people just, not showing interest, So there's
Right.
a lot of different ways that you can go out and spread the word on clubs, tracks, and, people coming in thinking, oh, I didn't even realize this
Yeah.
was here. And it's like, we didn't even know that RC3 existed before my dad found out about it. And so,
Exactly.
and
Yep.
they've been around for 3 or 4 years now, I think, maybe longer. I don't know exact time
Mm-hmm.
frame, but they've been around for a little bit. And so
Yeah, it's been around for
there,
a
there's
bit.
there's
Yeah.
there's plenty of ways I think we can go out either with through Facebook, social media. If somebody's even got a decent, TikTok following, that'd even be a
Right.
thing as much as people may dislike or like TikTok, but you just,
It's
social
just
media in general, there's just
right.
a
It's
lot of
just a new
different
avenue.
ways.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree with that, man. 100%, man. Because like I say, how you gonna grow if people don't know? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And how you gonna
Exactly.
want more people to help the clubs when, and especially if you're in a community where it's really a lot of um just a lot of residents around the area,
Hmm.
you know, and if it's a lot of residents around the area, it's kids everywhere,
Oh,
and
definitely.
then like I say, and I'm like what we talked about a little bit earlier, just being exposed to other things other than just I know you're a gamer,
Oh yeah.
and just you know exposing the younger generation to RC, getting them out the house and just showing them that it's more out there other than just baseball, football, gaming, and all this stuff. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's another avenues out there you can get out and just and help really develop you as a person, because like I said, you got to learn have personal skills, talking and
Hmm.
communication, just help you with kids that have the the just learning disabilities
Hmm.
that they may be have trouble
Oh yeah.
concentrating. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
with the cars, when you drive them, you got to concentrate to hold them on the
Oh
track, and you know what I'm
yes.
saying, all that kind of stuff. It just helped develop all that. So yeah, man. So yeah, if we can just get more exposure with that to the communities, 9 times out of 10, I believe it will help the club and help tracks
Yes.
survive too. So but yeah, so Zach, what's some of your plans you got going? Before I go into that, I was gonna ask what some of your plans you had coming up for 2024. But before we go into that, what's some of the things you wanna improve in your racing? What's some of the stuff you really wanna practice on and get better at?
I think just consistency in general, which I think everybody can have practice on consistency, being able to stay on track and use less of the marshals and stay out of the
Mm-hmm.
piping because you're out there, especially for like some of these pro nitro guys, is like you said, concentrating on the cars. It's
Right.
like the past War Nitro deal. They had like an hour long main. It was like a 45 minute to hour long main. So the amount of concentration that you got to have for that long is just insane.
Yeah.
I'm used to it because, as you said, I play video games and I used to sim race, back in the day as well on
Mm-hmm.
different racing games. And so we used to have like, 45-minute up to an hour races. So I'm used to that. But
Yeah.
it's just being the consistency, being able to hit your turns, easy on the throw. It's like two-wheel drive, especially.
Yeah.
That'll teach you throttle control. Like two-wheel drive, especially two-wheel drive buggies. Stadium trucks kind of got a little bit more forgiveness, but not a lot because of the
Uh huh.
wider tires. But it's a little bit better than a buggy.
Yeah.
But a two-wheel drive buggy will definitely humble you because of how crazy powerful rear slide tail happy you can get.
Right.
It's like the old saying in the South is it's slicker than a ball tire semi on a mile of asphalt. So,
It's all over
so
the place, man.
oh, it's all over the place, man. You
Yeah.
gotta have a dialed in setup, like especially with the
Yeah.
buggy, because and especially over an RC3, it's a little bit bumpy, than most places
Hmm.
probably should be.
Yeah.
And so, especially the 2-wheel drive buggies, they're kind of like bouncing all over the place. Next thing you know, you hit a random little rough spot, and next thing you're in for a death
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
That's how rough, and that's how sensitive those buggies are. But just decent racecraft in general, just consistency. And if I'm, actually fighting somebody, just having that racecraft to be able to fight
Hmm.
alongside somebody and actually keep it clean.
Right.
Accidents and bumps will happen, but just preventing that in general is something definitely. But of course, I got to stay consistent and get faster in order to be in those battles. But it comes. I have
It
my
comes.
moments where I'm like,
Most
I'm having
definitely.
my
Yeah.
moments where I'm up front. Sometimes
Hmm.
I actually during the TTR won the B main stadium truck and got the bump into the A main. So that says a lot for something. So I know the skills there in me. I just got to bring it out and
Bring it
fine
out.
tune it.
Stay at
Fine
it.
tune
Yeah.
definitely exactly.
Most definitely. That's it, bro. That's it, man. So from that, man, what's some of the things you want to improve in your race program now? In your race program, just with equipment and stuff like that. What's some things you want to improve in your race program?
Mhm. Definitely going to try to go into nitro next year. Like I said
Hmm.
earlier, I want to go into just staying, I think, strictly 1/8 because I think that's kind of the way to go right now. The popularity is huge for 8 scale, and there's just a lot more different tracks I can go to out of state if I wanted to, and there's bigger
Yeah.
events. It's like, the AMS coming in and down in November,
November.
Coleman
Hmm.
for the shootout, and then
You gonna love that, man.
oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait. I just gotta hopefully be able to get into the sign up because I think they were telling me in the group thing. I think signups are crazy, so you
It
got to be on
is cause
point. So
yeah, cause it's a cap race and there's only so
yeah,
many.
I think there was like what 3 something, if that. I
Yeah.
think from what Tanner was saying or whoever it was in the group, it was like
Hmm.
not many at all.
No.
So hopefully I can be able to snag that. But they did tell me as long as I can sign up and pay quickly, I'm in. So hopefully
Yeah.
that'll pan out
That'll
for me.
help.
But
It will.
so I got that, and then yeah, just branch out and learn nitro as well because I love the sound of nitro motors in cars. It's just so cool to listen to. And
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
one of the guys in RC3 let me drive his on one week, and it was just so fun to drive, and just
Yeah.
being able to enjoy something like that is insane. So
Yeah.
definitely want to try to get into the nitro program next year. So just kind of stay with the 1/8. That way I got to worry about parts. So if something breaks, I got parts that can fit either or my e-buggy or the nitro instead of
Right.
having so many
That's
different
smart.
scales of
Right.
whatever. So it's just
Yeah,
something to
man.
branch out like that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, basically that's kind of my forward goal at the moment as far as equipment is just to get into nitro.
I got you. I got you. Okay. And from there, man, like I said, go back. What's some of your plans for 2024? What's some of the things you really want to achieve and what you want to either races you really want to attend? What you got up?
Yeah, essentially, like I said, I'm going to try to shoot for the manufacturer shootout in November. But we got
Okay.
July 13th, we got the Shark Attack over at the Shark Raceway. That's one of their bigger events. And then RC3 in August. I believe it's
Hmm.
2nd through the 4th is the Rock City Challenge, biggest race in North Alabama
Okay.
by far. So there's going to be people all over the place to come to that. So they usually have about close to like 100, like 70, 180 entries
Yeah.
every year from what been told. So I'm definitely going to be shooting for that. I'll be racing 4 classes that weekend. So that's going to be an endurance test and my
Yeah.
patience. But
You already know.
it's something I want to go after that hardware as much as chance I can get at least
Yes,
get
sir.
some hardware, man, just to enjoy it. But yeah, I
So
definitely got that.
is that Rocket City
So
Challenge race? Is that a 2 day race? Is it
3, I think. I think it's
3 day?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think of the way it's laid out, it's Friday practice, and then Saturday is going to be
Sunday.
your heats and low
Mm-hmm.
mains, and then Sunday's the big show.
Will be the
So
mains. I
yeah,
got you. Okay, cool. I might try to make that one myself. What's the date on that one?
August 2nd through the 4th, I believe. If you look in the RC3 group, it should be in there, but I believe it's August 2nd through the 4th.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah. Well, yeah, man. From that, so are you excited about being a part of TTR racing, man? How you feel about that? How
Man,
you
let
feel?
me tell you, because I know me and you have been trying on and off to get this interview done. And when you hit me up that day, I thought, okay, it's just one interview. But I had known about like seeing TTR because Devin ended up posting a few things about the group and everything,
Right.
and I automatically known him because of my dad buying the buggy off of him, and I've met him up a couple of times. He ended up coming to the Tiny Trophy race, this RC3 season opener, and then I've met him a
Uh huh.
couple of times. I went down to Otagoville back in January before
Yeah.
we all got iced in. He was down there at the
SIC.
Alabama. That
Yeah. SIC. See.
mhm,
Yeah. I
yeah,
was down there too.
yeah. So I met him up on that one, and so I seen that and I joined. And then you hit me up and talked about the same group, and I'm like, well, heck, there's some kind of coincidence. And so, but just being a part of that and being able to absorb the knowledge that a lot of you guys have it's very special, and I definitely feel appreciated because you know a
It's
lot of
good,
guys may
man.
not have that opportunity to know and be a part of a team,
Yeah.
that can actually come in to help. I think a lot of these people, either at it alone or they just don't have those kind of resources, but to have those kind of connections, it's
Yeah.
definitely special to me. So it's definitely taken my want to the next step, and I know
That's
uh,
what it's all about. Yeah.
quite a few people have said they can try to help me get some type of tire sponsorship or even as a group to try to get something lined up. I know
Yeah. We're trying
I've
to line it up.
trying to line up the stuff and the merch as well. I think there's some few leaked images of some merch here and there that they're trying to work in, so I'm looking forward to that. But just the knowledge in itself is just something to absorb, and I think that's what's really, really been helpful for me, especially.
Most definitely, bro. Like I said, it's a team, man. It's actually been around. It's been around for um man for a while, brother. It's at least 10 years. I'm
Hmm.
thinking because it was Doc Chauncey Mack. This his idea, his
Hmm.
baby. You know what I'm saying? And it was Chauncey Mack. I don't know if you know Jarvis Hogan. He's around your area.
Hmm.
Jarvis, he come in. Everyone, he ready to races boats,
Hmm.
and myself and another guy named Mitch Watson down there in Mississippi. Um, so it was just really just us guys. We always hung tough, had each other back. Um, just legit good dudes, man, and
Yeah.
keep it real with each other. You know, we rarely bump heads. We just real tight, real good guys. We stay in touch, you know what I'm saying, even to this day. And so we just Doc kind of grew it from that, and it's kind of been, laying low, but I always represented it. Ever since I started doing this YouTube stuff, I still
Hmm.
represented TTR Racing. You can see it's in the ticker right here on the screen. And
Right.
um it's just a good legit group of guys, and it's a lady. It's Tamika from Florida, young lady. She's on the
Hmm.
team too. So it's a bunch of good guys, legit um guys on there that, like I said, we just down to earth, same interest in everything, and um we men, straight up men, speak our mind, but we respectful. We
Yep.
help anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like you were saying, share our knowledge with you. And like I said, you was the young man that really stepped up, outspoken, and really drew my interest just from you being yourself.
Hmm.
And that's why I was like, let me see if would he be interested in joining the team. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, yeah,
like I said, yeah,
definitely.
it just grew over the years, and now we really growing, and
Hmm.
we all of us, all the guys, kind of in a situation now that we can help others. So
Hmm.
that's why it's kind of really sparking and growing right now. And
Yeah.
um because, like I said, we'd have been through it. We know how it is
Yeah.
starting off racing. You don't have that much, but you try to use what you can. If you
Oh,
find
yeah,
old tires
definitely.
in the garbage that still got tread, we'll get
Oh, there
them.
you
And we'll,
go.
acetone rims. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hey,
sometimes you might
believe it
have
or
money
not,
for
that's
your
actually yeah. Believe it or
right.
not,
You know
that's
what I'm
actually
saying?
what Dad's been working on right now to try to reuse some old wheels that we've got
Some
for both
old
of our
wheels,
10
right?
scales. So
Cause
just take the old acetone trick, and that thing actually worked. I was actually
yep,
impressed by how well that worked. He's like,
yeah,
well, if Ryan Harris can do it, then hey.
bro. I'm trying to tell you, cause You can use that money. You might just have just enough money to get you a couple set of tires, but then
Yeah, there you
you
go.
gotta get wheels too. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? So
that's it.
we've been down through that, bro, and we, like I said, God done blessed us with now opportunities that um we in a place where we can help other people, and
Yeah.
we have grown our race program, and so we just now where we can really expand and help others out,
Hmm.
and just continue to be good guys, legit men, and be helpful, bring people in that's like minded,
Hmm.
and we just, like I said, we just growing from there, and now um I can use this platform to do podcasts for TTR
Yeah.
racing, and really tell what we're about and the word out even more. So hopefully, down the line I'm gonna say we gonna um do a TTR race, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, where we can just have our own race, and it's gonna be welcome to everybody, but
Oh yeah,
just
definitely.
be able to throw on our own race and promote our own race and have
Hmm.
our own race, and just have a good time and bring people in, and just continue to grow the brand and be the same guys and young ladies that we are,
Hmm.
and just be just have a good time, bro. So like I said, you a good guy. I wanted to bring you on in here, and
Appreciate it, man.
just hang on in here, and like I said, whatever you have questions with, whatever you may need or whatever, don't ask. Even if we say no, you don't have
Hey, that's the worst. But the worst thing y'all can say is
to.
no. It's always
Yeah.
ask questions. Because the two guys that I've actually been really leaning on most has been Devon and Cameron, because they're
Yeah.
the two guys that I've met through the group, personally, and so they've been the most helpful, because Cameron
Right.
sent over some of the settings on his ESC, because I've been running, as much as I would love to be sponsored by Phantom, I'm not, but I would love to be,
Right.
because I think their equipment has just been phenomenal, that
Mm-hmm.
I bought out of pocket, and I recommend Phantom 100% to anybody looking to spend some money on some decent hardware. It's just, I've been pointing people in that direction, and so he
Yes,
sent
sir.
me over his ESC settings for his 8 scale buggy. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been kind of copying off of that and just seeing what I can do with it. So just the questions. It's like the old saying is, there's never a dumb question, because
Never.
I'm pretty sure everybody's heard it all. And so
Right.
it may come down to a answer that could have been right in front of your face, but it's just, never be afraid to ask questions. I think that's the biggest thing as well. I think some people come in, they're too shy to ask questions. They're like, well, maybe no. Never be afraid to ask. That's just the
Never.
biggest thing.
Right. Because like I said, man, you never know. Because I mean, you may just you may be looking for a kit or whatever, and you may just need a practice kit, and
Hmm.
you don't know that, saying you just want somebody to help you out. And maybe somebody won't that would definitely just, you may be trying to buy one, they may just donate it to you because it's
Hmm.
is they backup, or they just not using it, and
Yep.
so it's always good, man, to ask questions and don't be ashamed, and like I said, we good dudes. Ain't no sense of trying to get over on us, because we been there, done that. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And we we can see it. We can see it. We can see the bull coming. 100 miles
Oh
away, cause
yeah.
we've been there. You know what I'm saying? And we just like to have fun and just enjoy the racing, and just try to treat people the way they want to be treated, man. And
That's the golden rule. To
that's
true unto
it.
others as you would have done to you.
Do unto you. That's it. That's what the Bible say.
Yep.
So yeah, brother. So yeah. So what is your what's your plans coming up? What's your races that you got planned coming up recently?
So coming up here, we got a RC3 points race on the 6th,
Uh huh.
coming up here, and then July 13th we've got the Shark Attack over at Shark, and so that's the two up and coming races. I'm going to try to get the e-buggy out at RC3 on the 6th to kind of make its first debut, see how it does. I don't expect
Right.
a decent showing, but just to see where I'm at with the e-buggy, and just to get used to a 4-wheel drive platform because everything I've been doing is 10 scale 2-wheel drive. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing is to adjusting to that, but just see what I can do with it. I don't have the body that I had ordered off of Smiley yet. He's been taking care of his orders, and he
Okay.
races on the weekends. He's over in Saratoga as we speak as well with a bunch of the other guys from TGR. So
Yeah.
he races as well, but I've been seeing a lot of his posts on Facebook, and I just cannot wait to have my body. He does a
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic
Paint.
job.
Yeah. Yeah. Smiley paint them things up, make them look real clean. Yeah.
Oh, they're real good.
Bro,
So
it's a couple of painters that we use um that I use somebody different, but
mhm,
he's right there out of Florida, so he's kind of
mhm.
local. Ain't too far away.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a bunch of painters. We can use if even if if you're in a rush, or we get some stuff done that's just real good, look real good.
oh
So yeah. hmm And also, we like I said, if you get once you get acclimated, and we help you out with your nitro stuff. We got some guys that we can, after a while your engines wear out,
yeah.
and it's a couple of guys that we use right down in Georgia that can refresh your engines and get your compression back up and stuff like that
Right.
when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So pull bearings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you covered, brother. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
so yeah, man. So but yeah, far as I see that you into what is it, F1 racing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've grown up around motorsports,
Right.
even if it's not physically, I've watched NASCAR, Formula One, huge into Formula One, huge McLaren fan. And believe it or
hmm
not, that's actually what I'm kind of basing some of my body paints off of is the orange McLaren theme because I'm just a
Yeah.
huge McLaren F1 fan. So, it's just been, and that's another thing that intrigues me into RC car racing. It's racing, and it involves
Right.
cars,
hmm
I've played a lot of racing games growing up as a kid, whether it be NASCAR games, Need for Speed, just
Yeah.
anything. I've always been just a car enthusiast. I love
hmm
going to some of these car shows whenever I can, seeing all these supercars, muscle cars. Just a car guy in general. I just love anything with four wheels and a motor, basically. So
Right.
it's just really really cool.
But yeah, man, like I said, a lot of us racers, bro, we have that motocross background.
Hmm.
We love like the F1. We
Hmm.
love the F1. Um, like off road, like the Mickey Thompson,
Hmm.
stadium truck races. We love all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I don't understand. We love this stuff, and a lot of the guys that's into RC know, like the guys that actually like mechanics. Some of the races that race,
Hmm.
especially the ones that race like Supercross, motocross, they actually
Hmm.
race RC as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just I don't understand why ain't nobody really talked to some of those. I mean, it's probably never been brought up, yes, but
Yeah.
it haven't been like um a race put on like at a motocross event, or
Hmm.
maybe something at F1, or somebody that comes in and see
Yeah.
F1 and see this and maybe want to put it out there at the event or something like that, and that
Yeah.
also would draw people in. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
it's
definitely.
coming. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
coming. Yeah,
I've
I believe
definitely
it's
seen a
coming.
few clips of like Lewis Hamilton with
Right.
RC cars, here and
Mm-hmm.
there, and so I kind of follow the Supercross here and there. Big respect to Eli Tomac. I think that
Mm-hmm.
dude is like Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael combined into one with a mix of Travis Pastrana. But
Right.
I think the biggest guy I've been following is Peyton Deegan because I used to follow his dad in the freestyle motocross way back in the day, watching him and Mike Metzger back in the day with the freestyle, and then seeing his
Right.
son out here with the Supercross series. I can't wait to see him in a 450, with the big
Mm-hmm.
guns. So that'll be exciting to watch whenever he gets the
Right.
shoot up.
And also, man, I've been thinking about this as far as like in the gaming community, man.
Hmm.
The only legit um RC
It's a VRC
game.
Pro, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, we got the VRC. We got the VRC simulator. But as far as like on PlayStation or Xbox, I ain't seen the RC game going all the way back to RC Pro Am. You know what I'm saying? That's back Nintendo days or whatever. So
there was that like RC Revenge that I grew up playing back in the day, and then I think Losi actually back in the day had their own PlayStation game. It was like a cartoonish style, but I think the only realistic car was what was it, the Double X4? I think it was the only legit car in the game that they based it on, the Double X4 back in the day. So there was, back in the day, I think there was a lot of RC games, but now it's just doesn't really have a fan base or even exist anymore. But
I believe that would be a good market.
It definitely would be, yeah.
Good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now, with the graphics that we have now, you know what I'm saying? You can have all them cars on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And with the tracks we have, like at Silver State, like the track we had at the Nationals up in there, HCRC, LCRC, and that's a track. LCRC is a track up north. They're real good. They had the Nationals, I think, was it last year or year before last, and they have always good killer layouts. We like I said, we can have a game with the Silver State DNC layouts or PNB layouts. AMS always have a great layout. We could have a game with all those tracks on there. And that would be, like I said, that's just a market that I was just thinking about that ain't really been tapped into. I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, bro. Like I said, man. I ain't gonna keep it on all night, man. Like I said, we've been at it. You know what I'm saying? We've been at it for about an hour and some change. And but brother, I just appreciate your time, man.
Hey, man.
And like I say, anything you need, bro, just let me know, and
always, man.
just stay locked in to the group chat. And like I say, bro, welcome to TTR Racing. Like I said, we just a group that we don't do no drama. I mean, we talk whatever if we have drama, because it's gonna be sometime disagreement.
Oh yeah.
We just come to each other like men and women, talk it out. And it is. If we have to agree to disagree, that's just what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Or we just squash it and move on and hey, go and get ready to race another day. So
yeah,
man. So welcome to the team, brother.
Hey,
welcome to the team.
I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. And again, hey, Zack. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Yeah,
it's been a long time coming, but we finally got it.
Yeah, we finally got it knocked out. And definitely we gonna do this again.
Oh, definitely.
We're gonna let this TTR team, get situated, set in real good, because we got some good guys in it while we trying to, like I said, we trying to right now get the merch and stuff situated. So probably this time 2 weeks from now, I might do a TTR Racing podcast and just we just have a lot of guys come on here and just get on the screen and talk or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? So
there you go. That'd be fun.
So yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, man, this EKJ 24,000 with my boy Zack. Say it again, Swader.
Swader, there you go.
Swader, that's it. I
like I said, that's how I know telemarketers call me. It's wrong.
It's EKJ 24,000 here at the RC Lounge podcast. You ain't ripping, you tripping. Left tie salute. Hey, treat people the way you want to be treated. Let my haters be motivators. And Zack, Zack, you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get out of here though. You know what I'm talking about?
Man. Hey, 4 wheels down, man.
But yeah, man, we appreciate it, bro. And we're gonna do this again. And hey, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep being you, okay?
All right, man.
We out, baby. All right.